Hey, good morning and welcome. Happy Monday. I'm back. Joe Jakewood, CEO of the Patriot Trading Group, live from my bedroom as I am still recovering from coronavirus, but well enough to start getting back on the radio. We just want to thank everybody who supported us, all the people that have been praying for us. Eric is still in the hospital. Keep praying for Eric, but things are stabilized there, going the right direction. Keep up with your prayers. He needs them, and I will be on the air most of the time. I am on quarantine or lockdown and not able to leave my house. My thought is, and who knows, we'll have to wait and see, at least through this week. I'm hoping by next week I'll be able to be back in the office, but my wife has me on very limited duty. I have no access to email, have not had any access. She hasn't given it to me yet, but I'm hoping she will. I'm hoping that after today I may be able to at least get on my email and do things of that nature, but not yet. But hopefully sometime next week I'll be making some appearances back at the office, and over the week I'll tell you my the experience and what it was, what it wasn't. Has it changed my mind? Has it changed my mind about what this thing is? I will tell you that it was way too close. I'll just leave it at that for right now, but I'm back. I'm feeling better. Big shout out to the staff at Patriot. I mean, first of all, Wendy delayed her retirement. You know, Wendy had retired. She put her retirement off. She's still working. The job, the professor, Glenn Biddle, who's been filling in for us and educating, and Glenn, he just does such an important role of the history, of the actual history when it comes to the United States, when it comes to the Federal Reserve, when it comes to guys like Andrew Jackson and all of those things. And so it's a different type of a show, but it really kind of gives you that great foundation, that great base, and I appreciate him being able to fill in the way he did. Obviously, Jason and Bernice and stepping up in Colorado, everything is on. All the metals plants, as an example, metals plants are done. They're done. Everybody's been shipped. There's nothing left to do there. Today or tomorrow is the last big shipping day in Phoenix, and we'll be 100% caught up. Colorado, Jason's already been calling all the people there. We're on top of it. Everything is up and running now. The Phoenix office is reopened. Arlene and Brooke are there. We had the office closed for coronavirus, but the Phoenix office is reopened. So if you call at 800-951-0592, all of those calls were being forwarded to Wendy, are now back at the Phoenix office, and Brooke and Arlene are taking care of all of your needs. We're going to have a silver special today. I don't know if you've been watching silver, now bumping up on almost $20 to the ounce this morning. Gold's up again, well over $1,800 again. The Dow's up $400. And again, this is exactly, what Eric was telling us was going to happen, right? You're going to see inflation here. You're going to see rising stocks, rising gold, rising silver, and that's exactly what we've been getting. And it's funny, we're going to see earnings start coming out this week. Second quarter GDP earnings is probably going to be down 50+%. So when you look at a stock market that was, and we'll just take the Dow. The Dow was 29,000, say pre-COVID. is at 26,478. So you lose 50% of your earnings, and yet you're only down 2,500 points. So you can see the inflation. That's the inflation. That's what we're talking about here. And you're seeing all of this play out throughout all of the markets, and I think we're going to see a lot more of it. The stimulus bill is not going to happen until late August, early September, and I think they're saying stimulus number 5 is coming. It's going to be very interesting how August shakes out with the unemployment benefits ending. They've already said the extra $600 a week going away. They want to pay, the Republicans want to pay something less than 100% of your salary. And obviously in unemployment, normally you would never get anywhere near 100%. Maybe you'd get, 60% or 70% if you're at the lower end, and if you're at a higher end, if you made a lot of money, you got paid a lot less than that. So it'll be interesting to see the states, articles everywhere now start looking. We're going to see a lot of tax increases, things of that nature as state budgets. Again, those are due, and the new fiscal years are started, so the states now look for higher taxes there, and we'll see how much bailout money, if you will, they get from the federal government. Patriot Radio News Hour, Double J's back on a Monday. Don't touch that dial. Hey, welcome back, 800-951-0592. Joe Jaquin here, back. Sort of. I got a great setup right now. I'm on a landline because my wife has, for years, said, nope, I want a landline. I don't care, even though we all have cell phones, and a lot of you out there, right? You got rid of the landline. We still have one. And I actually got set up here. I'm laying in my bed. I'm sitting up in my bed on a landline doing a show, no computers, and it's I'm going to say this right now, this whole work from home thing, this whole COVID, everybody work from, I could get used to this, sitting up here in my bedroom. I think I got the Professor Glenn. Are you with us?
Yes, I am, Joe. It's so great to hear your voice. Thank goodness you're back.
Thank you so much for covering. I'm getting better, and I appreciate you filling in. Now, Glenn is the master of work from home. He when he's available, when he's not teaching, a lot of his shows, he's calling from the beach over there on the East Coast. And so, Glenn, this is kind of my response to you. Okay, I don't, there's no ocean front here in Arizona, but I'm physically laying up, sitting up in my bed right now doing the show.
You can do a Zoom meeting now, and you can put any background you want behind you. So you could be at the beach if you wanted to, Joe. And hey, the other day I was doing the Colorado show from the range, and there were gunshots in the background. It sounded great. Either that or I was at a protest march, right? So, but yeah, hey, we have some winners in our cheese wheel homework that I gave on Friday, the Andrew Jackson cheese wheel. We've got Cheeto Ed from Phoenix. We've got Kendra S. from Clarkston, Washington, and we have Dennis B., a first-time listener. I mean, we're all going to get a silver dollar, and I got your emails, and I'll get with you on how to deliver that. So, Joe, we've had huge response. We are reaching a lot of people with this show because I gave them homework, and my email box blew up with all these responses about Andrew Jackson's cheese wheel. And
you forget, we're everywhere now, especially 1360khnc.com. Make sure you follow us there on Facebook. We've got so many things, and it's just everything got put on hold again a little bit here with both Eric and I with the COVID situation. 1360, just so you know, all you people, if you're thinking about advertising, thinking about shows, we've actually added several new young local talent on the weekends. The Sunday schedule's up and right. I'm going to have the Saturday schedule. We're adding shows to the weekends that are really going to be exciting and educational. One of the things I was talking to Brian with a Y during the COVID thing, and even more committed, we need stations like 1360, because otherwise you either get the Fox spin or the CNN spin. Neither one of those is the reality. Neither one of those is the truth. If you believe that, then you like to be lied to. Period. Sorry. Fox News doesn't tell the truth, just like CNN doesn't. Now we can argue which one lies more, but the need for news that is accurate, it is truthful, that is, some people say, conspiracy, and others say, they're just right-wing wackos and all of those things. That's nonsense. And over time, I think that's been proven out over and over and over again. And we've got so many great things happening. Matter of fact, right now we are going to be adding an FM signal to 1360. So you want to make sure you get in with us before that happens. We'll have, we probably would already, I would have been announcing the new FM station had the COVID thing not happened, but in the next 30 days, we will add an FM signal to go along with our AM signal, and we are growing by leaps and bounds. I will tell you that I have at least 3 or 4 new advertisers that we've put on hold that we're going to get started with now, doing some stuff with. So we got a lot of great things coming. Check out that weekend schedule. And give us a few days here. Sundays is already done. We'll get Saturdays done, but we're starting to get some young talent coming to Colorado with some great programming consistent with the message that we do at 1360. And like we always do, throw your support behind them. And it's exciting. So it's great. So, Glenn, I love it when you say, hey, we had Cheeto Ed, a great customer of ours in Arizona. We had a customer from Washington. We're all over the place.
Absolutely, we are, and we're also on Facebook. You can go there and like us, and both Patriot and 1360. And as always, allamericangold.com. You can always find stuff there. If
all the content that's there, yeah. Yep. Eric likes to mention YouTube and all of those things. So we try to. We're learning. We're getting there. Social media-wise and all of those things. So I wanted to let people know I'm so excited. And all of this happened, it just happened all at once. And just talking about the COVID situation for me and Eric, it's different. Our symptoms were not the same. I guess how our bodies reacted to them were not the same. For me, it was literally like slowly drowning. The oxygen levels were just depleting in my body, and I was one of the ones I got the remdesivir drug, and it worked for me. And I was in the hospital 5 or 6 days. But when I was at the emergency room 3 different times before we finally was in where I was in for a length of time, and was very, very precarious position, and was getting ready to be put on a ventilator when I got that drug, and it seemed to work for me. Eric hasn't gotten to that point. It's been a slower process for him. For me, it was all about oxygen in the lungs and not having any, not being able to breathe. Eric had some other issues. He had the high fever, the pneumonia, and the things of that nature that kind of make it a different situation. But make sure you keep him in your prayers. hopefully he can get out of the hospital soon. So just a little update. That's kind of where we're at. I'll give more details and talk more about that as we move forward. But in watching everything that's playing out here today, Disney World in Florida reopened today. I don't know if I agree with it, don't agree with it, but they said the heck with it. Disneyland in California is still closed, but hopefully the spike that we've seen, I'll say this, yesterday we had some near record heat, and today it's going to be near record heat here in the Valley of the Sun. The heat definitely didn't hurt the coronavirus, Glenn, at all.
That's what I'm hearing now, and then you have these people that come out and say, "Oh, turn your air conditioning off." Are you serious? It's going to be 112 in some parts of the country. That's not going to happen. I mean, you're going to be in a great position to let us know of what worked and what didn't, because there's so much misinformation and disinformation out there right now, Joe. And we're so we're so happy you've recovered and everything, but you are a first person source of this. You now have the market on information on this, and that's key to getting the word out on what actually is going on.
The biggest thing I would tell you, I haven't changed my opinion. Closing isn't the answer. But I will tell you that medically we are behind. Testing here in Arizona takes way too long, and I was under the impression, okay, I need a corona test, and within half of a day I could get an appointment. It doesn't work that way. A lot of times you can't even get a same-day test done. You've got to go out 2 or 3 days, and I wish that it would go faster. But closing's not the answer. But I'll share throughout the week the experience. The hospital experience was, I was at the Mayo Clinic, and it was horrible. I'll just tell you that. It was isolating. You're talking about no contact, no visitors, darkness, essentially. It was very, very interesting. The amount of PPE that gets used, it's incredible. Every time someone came into my room, they had to layer, if you will, what I'll call a PPE layer. And I don't even care if this stuff was 10 cents a piece, right? 10 cents for a gown, and then the gloves and the mask and this. I mean, a hospital, those people are in your room every other hour, and it didn't matter. Every nurse, every doctor, anybody. The guy, one time a guy came in to empty the trash. It just, whatever it is, and then you start multiplying that by the number of patients and rooms, and you're just like, wow, it's really fascinating, all of the things, and I'll share those with everybody as we go on. But even having been through it, the school starting thing's been a big issue, and I've got 2 kids. One's in college, one's in high school. And there's no doubt the online thing is a watered-down version of education. It just is. And I say that because I could see it not only in my kids' grades, which were better. All of a sudden both of my kids are good students, but their grades are better, and they're bored, right? They're not even worried. They're not even trying. They're doing less work for better grades. You know what I'm saying, Glenn?
Oh, I know. My son was working 70 hours a week and got straight A's this spring semester. And unfortunately, he got the email the other day that his fall lacrosse has been canceled and this football is going to be moved to spring. And he's just heartbroken. He's like, well, I just want to stay online because I can work, Dad, and make a lot of money. And that's kind of where he is. And congratulations to your younger son on his football look. I think that's incredible.
Yeah, he got an offer from the University of San Diego, which is a high-end Division I school, 1AA school here on the West Coast. As I'm going into the hospital, as this COVID thing is going on with me, he got that offer. The Ivy Leagues have moved their football season to the spring. So he's got 3 or 4 different Ivy schools that are talking to him that are going to be, delayed now, and so we're waiting for all of that to play out. But I appreciate that, Glenn. Super proud of him, and he's worked really hard, and just going to be interesting. Still not sure if we're going to have high school football here. They've pushed it just the other day, Friday, I think it was last Friday. They pushed the season later now 2 more weeks, so now the season won't start till September. But Patriot Radio News Hour. When we get back, we're going to talk some business news, and we got a silver special as well. Don't touch that dial.
This is the Phyllis Schlafly Report, presenting a daily conservative pro-family perspective since 1983 and continuing the legacy of Phyllis Schlafly. Now, here's the president of Phyllis Schlafly Eagles, Ed Martin.
A key to any free and prosperous society is open discourse. When different people are allowed to exchange different ideas on different issues, the truth tends to prevail. Good ideas rise to the top, and bad ideas fall out of favor. However, when someone attempts to control the dialogue by denying the right of certain viewpoints to be heard, we lose the very best that open discourse has to offer. And now it seems Facebook and the other elites of big tech are taking this away. PragerU has built an empire of conservative thought on the tagline, short videos, big ideas. They consolidate conservative positions into short, watchable clips stuffed with facts and logic. It's no wonder that PragerU has over 3.4 billion views and counting. However, the weakness of this conservative titan is that it relies on social media platforms to spread its content. These big tech bullies aren't too happy about conservative ideas being spread broadly. That's why companies like Spotify and YouTube censor PragerU. Now it seems Facebook is piling on too. Facebook has implemented a series of restrictions on PragerU's Facebook page, including reducing the traffic to the page. The excuse Facebook is using for these restrictions is alleged repeated sharing of false news. The one example they point to is a video about how the world population of polar bears seems to be increasing despite declining amounts of ice. Is that fake news? Hiding behind a biased third-party fact-checking organization, Facebook said PragerU is lying. The scientist PragerU mentioned in the video came out to defend it, but Facebook refused to admit their own agenda of targeting conservatives. Dark forces are obviously at work here. We can't grow as a society without truly open discourse. We need to hear everyone's ideas. While I'd love to tell you exactly what I think of Facebook, I don't think I can say it any better than PragerU did when they released a statement saying, Facebook should get a backbone and stand up for free speech.
This has been the Phyllis Schlafly Report with Ed Martin, president of Phyllis Schlafly Eagles. For 50 years, Mrs. Schlafly promoted grassroots efforts to rally conservatives. Today, you can harness the power of social media by going to phyllisschlafly.com and sharing these commentaries with friends across the country. Get started at phyllisschlafly.com. Thanks for listening, and join us again for the Phyllis Schlafly Report.
800-951-0592. Double J and the Professor here on this Monday, my return live, like I said, I'm actually in my bed. Pretty cool. Never thought I'd be doing a radio show in my bed, but recovering from the COVID, and Glenn's kind enough to help me through. Eric is still in the hospital, so make sure you get your prayers. Let's get him well. Let's get him out of there. Let's get him home. One of the things, and I know I said we talk business, but it's live radio. I'll say what I want, but about the COVID-19, if you will, and when I was in the hospital at Mayo. It's a research hospital, so all all hospitals, one of the things you find out real quick in this thing, all hospitals are not equal. Absolutely not. And they have a lot of DOs. These are doctors that are going to be doing research when they pull your blood, and they do this and they do that. And they were in my room talking to me and talking about they don't even know how many strains that are even just in that one hospital. Forget about the state of Arizona. Forget about the country. And it just so happens that Arizona, there's a multitude of different strains of the COVID. Most of them are on the milder side, but we've got a bad strain here. Of course, it just so happens to be the one that got to Eric and I. But it's very interesting how much they don't know. And these doctors, they don't know. They didn't know what I did, And so they're just talking and saying, we're still learning how this reacts. And I made the comment about a vaccine to these two doctors. They were part of the infectious disease team at Mayo. Matter of fact, they were the ones that put me on the remdesivir drug, and they were also the ones that I got released through. And I have a meeting. They called me, so my next meeting with them is Wednesday. I guess I'm going to be one of the people in the study, if you will, for that drug anyway. But the vaccine thing, there's no vaccine. What there is, or what they're hoping, is to come up with a treatment, if you will, that will work most of the time, or will work with most of the strains. But then the second you get a new strain, a new variant, all bets are off. It's kind of like getting the flu shot, Glenn. It's kind of just like the flu shot. Well, if they guessed wrong, it isn't going to do you a whole lot of good. That was my impression, that this isn't going to be like the smallpox or like polio or the mumps, where, hey, we give you one shot and you're never going to get it again anyway. That is what I was led to believe when I was in the hospital there at Mayo.
So you're part of this study now. Now, if you invested in remdesivir, would that be considered insider trading, Joe?
I don't know. The funny thing, excuse me, the funny thing is, it just was one of those things where I felt like, depending on, for me, I was fortunate because I was only doing one thing. And that was slowly drowning. That was kind of the best way I could equate it to, is just getting up was taxing. Walking from my bedroom to the family room probably took, once I got there, 20 minutes for me to have recovered, just the breathing-wise, to where I wasn't breathing heavy. But I didn't have anything, like, I didn't have a fever. I never had a fever the whole time. We kind of traced it back. We think I first kind of started getting sick on the 22nd of June. I never had a fever, Glenn.
That's amazing, because I talked to Eric, and he said that he had the heavy fever and the chills.
Eric had heavy fever. He was, 102, 103. I did have a little bit of an enlarged heart when I first got tested. I first got tested. It was a Wednesday. First felt sick on Monday. Got tested on Wednesday. And they came back and told me I was negative. They said I was positive for flu A and flu B. There, you talk about these strains of stuff, right? And the doctor, I got tested in the emergency room, believe it or not. The doctor that was giving me the results, and we were kind of joking around. He put his hands in the air like like when you're celebrating a good shot or a good hit at a baseball game, and you do the fist pump. He was double pumping his fist like, yes, you got both types of flu, but you didn't get corona. Like that was, he goes, everybody's testing positive for corona. And I was like, man, I didn't even know it was flu season. It's late June in Arizona. That's not flu season, but neither here nor there. That's what they told me. And they sent me home. And it wasn't until Saturday that they called and said, oh, you know what? You also got COVID now. And I don't know how that works. And we can, I know a lot of people can talk about the testing thing and it happened to me. The test that I got, the immediate results, if you will, said I was positive for flu A and flu B, negative for coronavirus. That same test, I didn't get another test, so I go, that was Wednesday night, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. They called me back and tell me that I was positive also for COVID-19. And it was funny, my wife was getting ready to go take me to the emergency room again when they had called on Saturday to say that I was also positive for COVID. So that was kind of how my symptoms started. We'll talk about that in a little bit here, too, and I'll get to that silver special next. I promise I will. Patriot Radio News Hour. We'll be back after the break. Get the rally caps on. Everything is up today. Gold's up a dozen, 16.13. Silver flying up 75 cents now. 19. Well, depending on what contract you're looking at, anywhere from 1940 to 1975. And again, silver. Early on I had said, hey, when silver crosses 20. I think we'll start seeing silver eagles again. I'm not so sure. That may not be enough. The Mint has allegedly been upping production on silver eagles. They're just not available. They're super, super expensive. But today, listen, we fell into something today. And we don't have a lot, but we've got 200 rolls of quarters. Okay? 200 rolls. I don't have any extra. I don't, sometimes we get extra. This is no extra. 200 rolls of silver quarters. So just picture a roll of silver quarters. That's $10 face value in silver. That's 40 quarters. You figure, in an inflated world right now, a gallon of gas is less than one silver quarter right now. A gallon of gas is less than a silver quarter. So you think about, what's a silver quarter? I always used to like to say that, for about a gallon of gas, you could pick up, one silver quarter could get you a gallon of gas. It'll actually get you more than that today. I don't know for how much longer. I saw the Saudis are starting to talk about wanting to drive that price back up again. But you're looking at, a silver quarter, that's over $4 worth of silver. So you're going to get 40 silver quarters in a roll. Rolls one, we're going to do a volume thing here, okay? 1 through 9. So rolls 1 through 9, $175 a roll. 10 to 24 rolls. Big, and the savings are going to be, I'll just be right up front, savings are going to be big. down to $170 a roll. So you save $5 a roll once you get to 10 or more, so 10 to 24. If you want a quarter bag or 25 rolls, another $5. So you go all the way down to $165. A quarter bag of quarters would be $4,125. These are all pre-1965, so 64 and older quarters. By the way, that quarter bag, that'd be 1,000 quarters or so. You'd probably have, I'm thinking almost 2 gallons, just under 2 gallons of gas. So just under 2,000 gallons of gas, if you will, for $4,125. So we got something, for you smaller guys, we got you. Roll of quarters, $175 for 40 silver quarters. Maybe, hey, I'm willing to do a little more than that. You want to buy 10 to 24 rolls? Hey, we'll take it down to $170 a roll. If you want to buy a quarter of a bag or 25 rolls, we'll knock another $5 off, and that's at $165 a roll, or $4,125 per, and just really drops your cost down to a little over $3. And here's what makes that such a great deal is before I went into the hospital. Okay, so before I went into the hospital, my cost on a bag of silver quarters, my cost was $3.75 over. So when you're looking at what we're offering you today, what my cost was before I was in the hospital is my retail and less. That quarter of a bag, you're down to paying $3.25. So what used to be my cost, now my retail is less than that today. Take advantage of it. Like I said, here's the problem. There's 2 bags. I bought them both. That's only 200 rolls. Take the time, put it away. Silver starting to make up some of that ground from gold. But just to get back to a normal ratio, we still need like another $7, $8 on silver. So sitting here at just under 20, my anticipation is silver's going to be breaking 20. Well, gold's going to be breaking to new all-time highs. I think $2,000 gold's in the bag, and I actually think we're going to see $25 silver before the end of the year as well. So 800-951-0592. That is our toll-free number. Take the time. Put them away. Gold's available. I got $20 gold pieces available, $19.95. If you want to do volume, 20 coins or more, call us. We'll sharpen our pencil there as well. But today, I really love these quarters today. Anytime, Glenn, you can come out and say, hey, a week ago, that was my cost. And come out and say, today, that's my retail. And have the price go up. The price, silver's added up, $1.50 an ounce on top of. Yeah, that's just great value there. Take advantage of that. 800-951-0592. Patriot Radio News Hour. Final segment coming up. Final segment, 800-951-0592. The deal today, rolls of silver quarters 1 through 9, $175. So you're going to save $5 an ounce, $5 a roll. I'm sorry, $5 a roll, which is they're 7.15 ounces, so not quite $1 an ounce there. And think about it, silver's up, and less. If you buy 10 to 24 rolls, now you're saving $10 a roll. So now you're saving over $1 an ounce. at $170 a roll, and then we're selling quarter bags. I got 8 total quarter bags, if you did it that way. Quarter bags, $15 a roll less, so you're saving you're saving over $2 an ounce that way, at $4,125. 800-951-0592, and we are going to be back up and running. We got shipments coming. Everything's going to be shipped tomorrow. That's been paid for in Phoenix. Jason's already got all the Colorado stuff done, so we're all caught up here, Glenn. And I wanted to thank you so much for filling in for us and being available for us. And I know that you're going to be unavailable tomorrow, but maybe joining us later in the week as well.
Yes, that's exactly right. I've got something I have to do tomorrow. But, Joe, that silver special is incredible because you can actually get 90% silver coins. You can't even get fiat change back from Kroger where you are because they don't even have the change to give it back to you now. They're putting it on your Kroger Rewards card. And so take advantage of this utility silver, as we like to call it, because this is great stuff to have, and it's a super price point. And, man, jump on it. I'm a silver guy. Stack it, put it in those ammo cans that we have, and it's you have control over it, and, that's the way to go. What do you say, Joe?
Absolutely, without a doubt, and take advantage of, just knowing where we're headed. Tomorrow, I'm going to do a special show tomorrow I'm going to walk you through, Eric and I, when we finally settled on Eric coming back to Patriot. And I want to take the time tomorrow. It was Eric reaching out to me, and I want to share with you the conversation. We had a meeting. I'll call it an emergency meeting. He called me on a Friday, and we agreed to meet, me and him, at the office Saturday morning. Patriot, we're closed on the weekends. But I'm going to share with you that conversation in depth because it's important for people to understand why it was we did what we did, why Eric and I came back together, what was behind it. And Eric was the one that was driving it, and it's very important to remember, listen, he's already warned you about you holding your bullion, holding your Gold Eagles, holding your Kruger Reds, your Maple Leafs. Hey, that's fine. Listen, gold's gold. I love gold. It doesn't matter, but he knows he's got that gift to see the future. I want to remind everybody the future that he saw tomorrow, so tune in. 800-951-0592, Patriot Radio News Hour. We'll be back tomorrow. Everyone take care. God bless. Prayers for Eric, please. Thank you.